Well, hello, everybody. My name is Steve Anderson, and this is Deita Thornton, and we've got a Kickstarter project for you. And Deita, would you want to say hello and why we started this thing?
Absolutely. Well, hello everyone. And we started this because for one, we've been friends forever. And I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma in August of 2021 and have been dealing with cancer for the last few years. And with multiple myeloma being what is considered a terminal cancer, meaning no cure, that it has presented quite a few challenges and thoughts. And so, how do you process through that? Is talking with friends and what got us going on this is a great idea, and Stephen came up with, journaling for from the patient side and from the friend side would be helpful.
Yeah, and one of the things, and so as Deita said, right, for forever, 1989, and though we don't see each other for long periods of time,
Mhm.
and I'm in Minnesota, Deita's in Arizona, and when I heard the news, right, my first reaction, right, was to swear, which I won't do, and just like, you know what can I do? How am I going to from Minnesota, right, and keep our friendship going and be the friend that I want to be for Deita. And so I've been journaling forever. And as certain things would come up, I would be taking notes for myself too. And I think for those of us who have loved ones who get cancer, we're thrown for a loop too. And it's really important to be able to say, okay, right, if things are changing, I've got to start deciding what I'm going to do. What are the new boundaries going to be? What are the new expectations are going to do, right? Because if I'm going to go down to Arizona for a weekend, right, which I did, are awesome, and Ardita's going to come up for a weekend, and we're going to go to Laura Ingalls Wilder pageant, because Little House on the Prairie is obviously amazing. Other things are going to happen. So I created a journal on the French side to get those questions so we can think about how what the friendship means to us, how we can move forward, and keep that no matter what the situation is. And Deita is always throwing me for a loop because how many times have you been in the hospital for like really serious stuff?
Yeah, probably four now, five counting the last surgery. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah. And
so
I started my questions based on just things that I'm going through, and I figured that if I'm thinking about these things, then I'm sure other cancer patients are thinking about those things as well. And sometimes just having that time to like ask yourself, how do I feel about this? What's going on right now? What are the emotions allows you to kind of process and move forward. And again, bringing up the Laura Ingalls Wilder because they are amazing. One of the reasons why it was important to me is because one thing I learned through Laura Ingalls Wilder as a child was that life throws you some hard times, and their stories always talk about getting through those hard times and how do you do that in some positive way. It doesn't mean things end up perfectly because they don't. They had some tragedies, and that's the same way with even in my own life, that things may not end up the way I would like them to end up, but it allows you to see where you can make the best of the circumstances. So gotta love the Ingalls. Gotta love the love the Little House on the Prairie series.
and I'm a latecomer to the Ingalls, but since I found out how much Deita has loves them, and I've been to a couple of the pageants now myself, I understand and am fully on board. You do not have to be on board with Little House on the Prairie, right, to support this project, but you're welcome to, and you're missing out if you're not, right? But so the Kickstarter is we want to create two journals, one for a person with cancer, right, to give them those questions that Deita has been facing for years, right? About okay, here's both the practical stuff, the emotional stuff, and all of that those questions. I'm doing the same for the friends, right? And that is what our Kickstarter project is all about. And we hope that you will support us.
Absolutely.